okay? If Art the Clown's head is Jell-O, then you can drop the weapon. But until then, I don't want to see any weapons getting dropped.
I will say, though, I'm happy the main actress, Tori, got some damage to her. Like, because she was doing good up until the end. Like, that she took that axe to the ankle, and somehow her ankle was still intact. But I was like, damn, that must have hurt. And then, like, she put her hand on the wall thing or whatever. And if she would have just waited 2 more seconds, he would have got, like, electrocuted. But she put her hand on there, and then he swung the axe and cut, like, every finger off. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, yeah, the fingers thing, that sucked. That really sucked. Her ankles, obviously. But, dude, I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't know if you can break that cord thing off like that and have it not also electrocute you. I don't know. But at the very end.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she was too concerned at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think her life is ever going to be normal again after this. But my other kind of little bit complaint about this, and I guess it's a short movie, so you don't, whatever. I didn't like how Robbie died. I was like, listen, why don't we have those two be like the main characters? Like, we met them together, everybody else is dying around them, like, the brother sister die, the neighbors die, we see all this stuff happening, and then they kill off Robbie, and I was kind of like, I kind of liked him. I kind of liked them, their dynamic. Like, I think that's what made the movie fun. And then once he dies, then it just becomes about Tori screaming and trying to explain what was going on. I don't know. Did you feel the same way, though? Once Robbie died, I was like, he's the only other person I cared about.
I definitely did not think he was going to die. I thought they were going to be the main two who, survive and they're running the whole movie and blah, 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 forming an attachment. But I don't know. He was like this kind of like, hipster guy. He had like a dangly earring. He's got his mustache. He's got like his mullet with like a perm in the front.
He's not hipster, dude. That's like metal.
But he was an individual for sure. And yeah, I thought they were going to survive together. And he was dodging, like the Santa pulled him through the car, and he was like laying on the ground, clearly fucked up. And I was like, oh, they're gonna make it though. And then the next scene is like the axe in his eye, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, I was bummed when he died. Because, like, the brother sister, when we meet them, they die within 2 seconds. You're like, okay, so who the hell were they? The neighbors, they die so fast. Even the cops, like, you meet them for a second, and then they just die pretty quick after that. So there's nobody really to latch on to. So I was like, damn. We did get that, as you were saying, like 20-something minutes of just Robbie and Tori going back and forth. So you're like, I don't know, don't get rid of these guys. I liked him. I like both of them.
They really built them up. They were about to bang. You could tell he's probably worked there for a while, maybe a couple years, and he's just like, I gotta like get in my hot boss's pants. And then finally, it was about to happen. Boom! Animatronic Santa starts killing everybody. Just the worst of luck. Maybe they could have killed him towards the end, like he saved her by giving his life. What did you think of the way Tori was trying to get her sister and her husband's attention?
I mean,
like, imagine you're sleeping, right?
Yeah.
You're sleeping, you're in bed with, like, your wife or whatever, and your brother comes into your room at, like, 2 a.m., and he's just like, get the fuck up right now, and you're just like, what? Like, what's going on? And you're like, shh, get the fuck up right now. Like, you'd probably be like, can you explain what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, they probably look at the sister like, oh, she's a mess, or whatever, like, what are you doing? You drunk? That's probably what they're thinking, but... Yeah, dude, the brother and sister are so useless. They're literally just there to get killed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have done it differently, I guess. I don't know. I would have done a lot of things differently in this movie.
Yeah, another scene where I laughed was the cop who died, the first cop who died. He picks up Tori. They're explaining what's going on. They're in the car, right? Mm-hmm. They're looking at each other. Let's just say, by chance, their peripherals don't happen to pick up a giant walking Santa coming towards them, okay? Mm-hmm. Dude, he stepped on the hood of the car. Yeah. Where the front part where the engine was. And he took like 2 solid steps. So he stepped on it, walked, and then they looked over. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, the car's moving.
No, I agree. That when he stepped on the thing and they didn't react, I was like, wait, guys, what, come on. Like, especially you, Tori, you know what's going on. Like, you're going to be so heightened, like, where the fuck is he? Like, sort of thing. And this guy doesn't believe you, so, okay, maybe.
the worst cop in history.
Well, apparently he's the best one they have on that force. Because they say that.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, he was the best cop we had. And it's like, oh, okay, Jesus, this department is in trouble. Yeah. You know, the things I loved about this movie, I will say, I actually liked some of the dialogue. I thought the dialogue was really funny. A lot of it was about, like, music that I like Van Halen, Van Hagar, like that kind of stuff. All of the horror movies they're referencing, I loved the little back and forth they had. Her, like, opinions about which horror sequel she liked, and, like, you know, I liked that. Also, just loved the way it was shot. Like, I thought, like, the snow in, like, every scene looked really cool. I thought the Christmas lights looked a lot like Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night. So it looked, like, aesthetically like one of those older horror films. But it just had, like, a Terminator just shoved into it. So, like, dude, it's fun.
Yeah, you know, I would have liked to have seen more from Sheriff Monroe. I don't know, like, he's the sheriff of the small town that got 3 cops on the force. He's got these really douchey handlebar mustache. I feel like there's a story behind him, and he died so quickly. Like, he went in the back and he just got tossed, and that was it.
Yeah, he's in a lot of Rob Zombie movies, that guy.
He looks familiar.
Yeah, he was in...
Yeah, he's got a lot on his IMDb here.
I'm trying to see what you might know him from. He's from 3 from Hell. That was Oh, he's in the new Munsters movie. He was Herman Munster. You love that.
I've never seen it. I would have liked, though, maybe, you know, if they're going to kill Robbie off, like, maybe her and the sheriff, you know, like, they're escaping together and they're, like, moving through the alleys and, like, closed stores. They just killed him very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that everybody did. Everybody got killed, except for Robbie and Tori. I mean, I barely know what the first 2 people look like who got killed. Like, the people that, like, let me eat your ass. Like, that couple.
Yeah.
I don't even know what those people look like. They died so fast. And then the sister, I was like, oh, she's kind of cute. Nice. We get this cute blonde in here. She's dead 2 seconds later. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it was, so everybody was dead very quickly. The gore was good, though, dude. Like, I don't think that was any CGI. I'm pretty sure, like, most of the gore was practical effect in this. Nothing looked fake to me.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can't think of another Christmas movie where Santa's a robot. Can you?
No, not a robot, no. Plenty of Santa murder movies, but not robot Santa.
Yeah, and I feel like they could do something pretty big with this. Like, this is a cool concept. You could, like, easily make a trilogy, right? Like, at the end of the first one, for example, like that mall scenario I was giving you, and you just see, like, someone at the Santa factory, wherever they made him, is like, oh, they're all going rogue, sir, and there's just dots all over the world. And it goes into the second one, and I don't know, it could be cool.
No, dude, I like your idea. I think that's, like, and they could even do that as, like, it's happening at the same time as this one.
Oh, like multiple stories?
Yeah, it could be like the mall down the street, and it could be taking place at the exact same time as this movie. And maybe Tori comes in at the end or something like that. Like, she escaped. I can't remember. How did it end? She doesn't die.
Like, stabbed him with a sword, she electrocuted him, and then she crawled out, and then I'm assuming an ambulance came?
I can't remember now. Huh. Anyways, but she survives, for sure she survives. So maybe the end, or the second one or whatever, could be her going to that mall to try and get safety or whatever, and then it's like, oh shit, there's more fucking Santas here. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of room for this. Also, we didn't even mention the green laser eyes that the Santa has. Like, that was kind of cool. I thought that looked, like, really sick.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be able to shoot, like, laser beams out.
Yeah.
No, they were just, it was for show. It was cool, though.
Well, I like that, but you know what the other thing I really liked about a two-man was, like, with the exception of the dialogue, if you found it funny or whatever, this movie was really straight. Like, there was no, like, ho, ho, ho. Like, none of that bullshit. Like, this was actually pretty creepy. Like, there wasn't any, like, you know, Silent Night, Deadly Night, or whatever. He could have said any sort of, like, you know, spoof on Santa Claus shit. None of that. Like, he's like, nah, I'm a Terminator that just looks like Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's definitely more horror-themed. And yeah, it's not like it's Santa. It's just a robot who's literally just dressed like Santa. And you kind of get more of that horror feel when his face is ripped off and you just see, like, he's a robot.
And his green eyes. Well, the director, Joe Begos, I did watch the interview today with him, and he said that the reason he got into filmmaking was because he saw the Terminator. So, like, this is just, like, his ode to Terminator, I feel like.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, so they offered him after, because he's done a couple movies. I haven't seen any of them, but there's one called VFW, which is apparently really popular. After he did that in 2019, they offered him to do a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night, because it was one of his favorite movies too. And he was like, actually, I have like an idea for one. So he suggested this, and then Shudder was like, yeah, let's do it. So I don't know, man. I think with time, I think this will get a lot more of a cult following. You know, it is in theaters out in LA. I doubt it's like a nationwide thing, but who knows, nationwide.
I'm looking at VFW on IMDb, and actually, I'm surprised I haven't heard of this. Came out in 2019, and it has Stephen Lang in it, the dude from Avatar. Mm-hmm. It's got Fred Williamson, and it's got Martin Kove, which is Cobra Kai. Dude,
yeah,
the bad guy. And dude, it has David Patrick from The Warriors. He was the little like bad weasel guy.
Oh yeah, like Warriors come out to play. Yay! That guy.
Dude, it's actually a pretty cool cast.
Dude, look at his other movie. He made 2 movies that year. He made one called Bliss, which has the girl that's like, eat my ass right now. Like that girl, she's the lead in this movie.
Do you know what VFW is about?
I'm assuming it's about like veterans, or what is it? Like, what is a VFW? It's a veterans thing,
It's
right?
like a veterans like hangout place. Yeah, it says a group of old war veterans put their lives on the line to defend a young woman taking shelter in their local VFW, who's running from a drug dealer and his relentless army of drug-addling punks.
Dude, so he made that and he made Bliss, both in 2019, and they were both pretty well received. So they were like, "Yo, like, do you want to make another horror movie?" So he did this one, and here we are. Yeah.
Very cool.
I think this guy's got a future. Check him out, though, dude. He's the most classic, like, just Metallica, like, Motorhead, kind of like loves this. When you see him, you're like, okay, I know what this guy's all about. he's like a metal rocker sort of guy. But I don't know. I'm excited for his career. I think his movies are cool so far. I mean, from what I've seen.
What would you give it out of 10?
Probably 6.5.
Whoa.
You know? I don't think it's like the best thing I've ever seen, but again, I've said it like 5 times in this podcast. I think it does what it set out to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 6. Yeah, I agree. It did what it's supposed to do. They could have trimmed some fat on some of the dialogue. Could have had a second main character. Like there was, like you said, there was a lot of back and forth with Robbie, kind of building up. Like, oh, this guy's like cool, man, and then they just killed him really quickly.
Mm-hmm. He's the only one that I like actually cared about, besides from Tori. But anyways, you know, it's Christmas. If you want to see another horror Christmas movie, I think this is definitely, you know, it's probably the best one this year. I don't know if there's any other ones, but it's the best one I've seen in a long time. So I liked it more than Krampus, if that's any indication. I don't know. I always think Krampus is a little too convoluted. I know, I'm a piece of shit, but I don't know. I like this one. Straightforward, you know? It's not as good as Black Christmas, but it's straightforward.
There's like 40 Krampus movies.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one from 2015 with Adam Scott, and I mean, freaking great cast. Like, it's a good movie, but I don't know. I like this one more.
Okay.
Anyways, if you guys, our listeners, have not had a chance yet, we released 28 Weeks Later this past Monday with Justin as our guest, with Eric as the co-host. And this upcoming Monday, we're going to have Student Bodies, so you can check that out. And we will see you all next week, I think with Avatar. I think that's the plan, but we'll see what happens.
All right.